Now, if you want the Cowboys to beat the Raiders, even if it is just the preseason, like the video for me right now. We have the science to prove it. The more likes we get, the more likely it is that the Cowboys take down the Raiders in week 2 of the NFL preseason. The Cowboys are back on the road, and it is it is an after dark edition of the Cowboys Report. It might be chugging Red Bulls for that live stream there. Raiders are a 6.5-point favorite at home. That over-under has jumped since last time we discussed this game, up several points actually. It was like 35.5. Now it is 39.5. Raiders are probably going to play more of their starters than Dallas will, but there are several key players that I'll be keeping special eye on in this game. And you know who number one is. It's Trey Lance. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. My goal for Trey Lance this week, just be better. Be better than what you were last week. You know, if you didn't watch the JT O'Sullivan QB School breakdown, really informative stuff. A lot of similar stuff to what we had mentioned afterwards and during the game. The placement has to be better. The timing has to be better. I think there are times he's just late getting to it. And there are some nice throws he makes. The arm strength is there, but you're late in the preseason. What happened in the real games? And the Cowboys tested him. They were giving him real NFL passing reps, not just leaning on his legs. And they did that a little bit. But I want to see Lance be crisper. I want to see more strikes. I want to see more big plays. There were plays left out on that field. Now, you're not going to make every play. But if you left, hypothetically, 15 plays out there, can we get that down to 10 this week? And then to 5. I think that progress is what we're looking for out of Trey Lance this week. Deuce Vaughn, barring a setback from his injury, he is going to give it a go in this preseason game. And that's a big deal for him. I think that, Dallas last week basically didn't run the football, which I was not mad about because they didn't need to run the football. The running backs that were out there outside of Malik Davis, those guys weren't going to do a lot. Like they weren't going to be heavily involved. You know, Malik Davis got a couple carries. Rico Dowdle got 1 series. Cool. Deuce Vaughn is fighting for a roster spot, though, in a way that, Snoop Connor and Nathaniel Pete aren't. Maybe he's back there on special teams returns as well. Deuce Vaughn, again, he looked kind of nice in last year's preseason. So can he do it again? Can you get him involved and showcase him a little bit? I think it's possible. I think you'll see Royce Freeman might be healthy again this week, too. I doubt you see much of Rico Dowdle, if anything. I think you'll see some Malik Davis. You'll see some Deuce Vaughn. Maybe you put Deuce Vaughn in there mostly on third downs. Do you try him in slot receiver? They've kind of that a little bit too. I want to see how he's used and how he's deployed because this is a massive game for Deuce Vaughn to make the roster. If he struggles after missing so much time at camp, he's in a rough spot. So will Deuce Vaughn make the Cowboys roster? Y for yes, N for no in the comments of today's video. I'm trying to do different players from what we did last week, but I'm going to put Ryan Flournoy back on here because he's got to be better. Like, it wasn't all Trey Lance's fault the Cowboys offense couldn't score. You had a bunch of drops too. Ryan Flournoy, there was a really good clip, or not a clip, but the all 22 of that play. The ball probably shouldn't have gone to Flournoy. Like, they should have just done the swing. They had the math on that side of the field. But that hit Ryan Flournoy in the face. Got to catch that football. Next play, he fumbles. Got to be better. Flournoy is not guaranteed a roster spot. That height, weight, speed combo is very intriguing to me. But if you can't hold on to the football, if you're a pass catcher and you can't catch, I don't have any use for you. So I am not out on Flournoy, but I need to see a better game out of him this week. And look, Cropper and Tyree Johnson thought David Durden flash, Kelvin Harmon flash. Cool. Go make more plays. Next up is Josh Ball, and Operation White Lie continues to be in place here. I am curious where he plays. I still think PFF tends to grade Josh Ball a little bit too highly because I thought there were more than one bad reps that he had because there was a couple bad plays that he's faced the wrong way. He graded out super well on PFF. Now, because of all your injuries up front, because of the fact that you're down Earl Bostic and Chuma Adoga, and I don't know where Cole Cabral is actually going to play, and I saw Josh Ball get reps at left tackle against the Rams in the joint practice and got his butt kicked by Jared Verse. Is he going to stay at right guard, or is he going to get some left tackle reps or right tackle reps? That is worth monitoring, because with Adoga banged up and going to begin the year on IR, that opens up a possible roster spot, especially as Nathan Thomas is still banged up. So your third-string offensive line is kind of banged up right now. So I'm curious how those backups look and what's going to be a bit of a heavy rep game for them. How closely do you track your bank statements and credit card history? Are you out there combing through every single charge on a regular basis? Or do you just assume things are fine? I am the latter. Ain't no one got time for that. Ain't no one got time to check every single bank statement. It's 2024. Whatever. Now that I'm using Rocket Money, they do all that for me. I don't have to worry about it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills, all so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So stop wasting money on the stuff you don't use, the stuff you don't want, the stuff you don't want to be double charged for. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. It is rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. One more offensive player to watch. I'm going to put Tyler Guyton there. Sounds like he had pneumonia, which is wild. And that's why he was kind of like sick for so long. That's what Brian Broaddus had mentioned, or whatever it was. I thought he played very well against the Rams. I think he got tired in that second series, which he had to come in because Matt Lutzko needed an IV. Come on, Matt. Be better there, buddy. So I am curious how much he plays and how he looks. Because what I'm kind of hoping is, because it's the preseason, I kind of hope the Raiders, I doubt they're going to play Max Crosby, but can they play, Malcolm Kuntz? Can they play Tyree Wilson? And can those guys go against Tyler Guyton? That's like the two polar opposite spectrums of football players and skill sets. Like Tyler Wilson, if you don't remember him out of Texas Tech, is a mountain of a human being. Like he is a massive football player. Or sorry, Tyree Wilson, my bad. He is like 6'6", 280. Like he is just giant and massive and brings a very physical power skill set. Malcolm Kuntz is like 6'2", 250. He's a speed rusher. So I would like to get both those guys against Tyler Guyton and give him different styles and reps and everything. So score prediction for me between the Cowboys and the Raiders. Get your predictions in. Mention who wins as well. But let me know who you think wins this Week 2 preseason matchup. All right, I'm going back to the Junior Fehoko well because where the hell was he in that game? Junior Fehoko getting some outside defensive end reps and DT reps had 37 snaps. Did you notice Junior Fehoko on any of those reps? Did you? I went back and watched the All-22 and I had to okay, where is he? Are you a DE, a DT, or are you just stuck as a tweener and we have no idea what to do with you? I want to see where he lines up and can he do something positive? Because with the addition of Carl Lawson, I'm looking at DT for him. Chauncey Golson's playing more defensive end. He can also kick inside, but just like Marshawn Kneeland. Is he going to be a full-time 3 technique for me? What is my plan for Viliami Fehoko? Is there a plan? There might not be. He might really be caught in a bad spot as a tweener. Position flex is great, but you got to be good at one of them. So I think Fehoko is fighting for his roster spot in this game. If he's a no-show again, I don't know. Who knows where he's going to be. You knew we were going to put Mazi Smith on this list again. I think that getting him more reps is key. I think between the off-season shoulder surgery, adding weight, the getting his conditioning up is a work in progress, that just is how it works. It is very tough to add weight and also be in better shape every day. It is a process. I think it's gotten better as camp has gone on. I know the box score did not credit Mazi Smith for a TFL. I don't care. That was a tackle for loss on the screenplay. That they are wrong. That was a clear as day TFL. So I want to see more positive plays from Mazi Smith in the context of what they are asking out of him. He's not going to be an impactful 3 technique. Take on double teams. He did a pretty good game of that. I think the one big run that they allowed when he was in there, that wasn't his fault. Willie Harvey Jr., who we'll talk about, has to fit the run properly. Now, whenever Cowboys news hits or games go on, whatever happens, we have you covered. We will be live for the Cowboys-Raiders game. We will have our post-game show and winners-losers on Sunday. So don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now. There was one very clear play where you got, I think it was Huggins and Mazi Smith. And I think, by the way, there were several reps where Albert Huggins got beat and 58-68 looked kind of similar, and they thought it was Smith. It was actually Albert Huggins who has issues. There was one play where Mazi, and there's a hole to the right of Mazi Smith because Albert Huggins gets duo blocked and cleared out. And Willie Harvey, if he fits the run, it is a gain of 2. Mazi did his job. Huggins really didn't. But Willie Harvey just went to the wrong gap. And run fits are important for this team. Because the Cowboys are going to play big boys on the interior. And they're not asking their defensive tackles to shed and get in the backfield and penetrate. They're asking them to absorb blockers and keep the linebackers clean. When the linebackers are clean, you then got to make the play. Harvey made some plays. He didn't make that one. And I think in that, there's 4 roster locks, Overshown, Kendricks, Clark, and Leafau. There's room for at least 1, if not 2 players. If he can be better, he can make the team. I am excited to see it because I think he'll be out there. Andrew Booth for the first time this season for the Cowboys. That is the traded for Vikings corner, part of the Nashawn Wright flip there. I don't know how up to speed he is in the playbook. He's been here for like a week. Not a lot of time on that standpoint there. So we'll see where Booth fits, but Eric Scott will be out there. Kalen Carson, I forgot to mention on our injury roundup from the other day. He had a wisdom tooth issue. But he's fine. His mouth just hurts. So we'll see if he's out there or not, but I think they'll give plenty of reps to Andrew Booth in this upcoming game. Predictions. How many INTs did the Cowboys get against the Raiders? They had 4 against the Rams. Does the turnover chain get some more usage? Sound off for me in the comments of today's show. Finally, I'm going to go with Israel Mukuamu. Again, common trend on this list, guys that are fighting for a roster spot, right? Or new additions or youthful pieces. Mukuamu fighting for a spot, was banged up, had a groin injury. Sounds like he's back. So I want to see, A, how he looks, also where he plays. Do they view him as a nickel? Do they view him as an outside corner? Do they view him as a safety? I think all of those things are worth monitoring because I think Mukuamu can be your number 5 safety, your number 5 or 6 corner, your number 4 corner on the outside, your number 2 or 3 corner on the inside, and a core special teamer. And that's got value. But it also puts you at the very back of your team's roster.